Good morning and welcome to Monday. So today we are going to start talking about adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So they're not ones that we can easily just boom add together like we've been doing. So there's four main steps when this happens. So just real quick, an example where they have unlike denominators would be if we have 1 over 12 plus 3 over 4. Those bottom numbers, those denominators, they're not the same. So we can't add our numerators until they are the same. So there's four main steps. And again, this is all in the notes right below here, so you can pull those up. I'm not going to take the time to write them all down. The first one is we're going to determine which fraction we're going to change. Right now, you're only going to have to change one fraction. And here's a hint. All the fractions that you're going to have to change are going to be the ones with the smaller number, because these will all have a multiple that will multiply into the bigger number. Our second step is we have to find the multiplier. So what do we have to multiply 4 by to get to 12? We're going to run through this example in just a minute. So 12 here, because that's the smallest number that they can both have in common, that's called our least common denominator. That'll come more into play later on down the road. So then the third step, we have to create an equivalent fraction for 3 over 4 so that it has a denominator of 12. And then we can add or subtract as we need to. And if our answer allows us to, we'll simplify. All right, let me grab some more colors real quick. So right in front of me. I think these three will be good because I know they can be seen easily. Okay, so we've already determined that we're going to change 3 over 4 because it has the smaller denominator. So now what we have to do is figure out what is our multiplier. We find our multiplier by, so I'm going to make this step 2 because step 1 we said we have to change 3 over 4. So step 2, we have to find our multiplier. The way we do this is by taking our bigger denominator, which is 12, and dividing it by our smaller denominator, which is 4. It's kind of hard to see over there. Sorry about that. There we go. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. Therefore, we know that 3 is our multiplier. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take, the third step here will be we're going to take 3 over 4 and we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by our multiplier, okay? So 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. So we get 9 over 12 as our equivalent fraction. So now what we're going to do is we're going to replace 3 over 4 with 9 over 12. So I have 1 over 12 plus, now instead of 3 over 4, we write 9 over 12. Now our denominators are the same, so we can add. So 1 plus 9 is 10 over 12. All right, and we're done. So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to make some room up here. Put this answer back up here. So we got 10 over 12. We have to figure out if we can simplify. So remember from our notes before, we have to determine if they have any numbers in common. So numbers that can go into 10 would be 1, 2, 5, and 10. Numbers that can go into 12 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So the number that they have in common is 2. So if we divide 10 and 12 both by 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 5 over 6 is our final answer. 10 over 12 is an acceptable answer, and I will not take any points off right now for you giving me 10 over 12. But 5 over 6 would be your most simplified answer. Okay? Let's do another one real quick. I have 3 examples for you, and they're all listed in the notes below with explanations next to each step for you. Okay, so this next one is also an addition. I have 7/16 plus 4/16. If you're following along in the notes, this is actually the 3rd example. I'll explain why in a minute. Okay, so if you use my hint, we know, oh, this is supposed to be 1/4. I'm skipping steps on you. 1/4. There we go. Okay, 7/16 plus 1/4. So if you remember my little trick, we're always going to change the fraction that has the smaller number in the denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to first find our multiplier. And again, we do that by dividing our bigger number in the denominator by the smaller denominator. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So therefore, we have to multiply 1/4 times 4. So if we take 1/4, multiply both the top and the bottom by 4, we get 4/16, which if you know from a minute ago is what we should have got. So now we can replace that. So here we have 7/16 plus 4/16. All right, now our denominators are the same. We can add our numerators. 7 plus 4 is 11. So our answer is 11/16. And now we have to determine, can we simplify? This is why I chose to do this one next. Instead, I went a little out of order from the notes that I had. So I'm going to squeeze over here a little bit. Let's figure out if they have anything in common. So 11, numbers that can go into 11 are just 1 and 11. Ooh, that's hard to see. There we go. Numbers that can go into 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. If you don't know those as quick as I do, it's okay. Sorry for that glare right there. See, that's a 1. So the only number that they have in common is 1. If a number only has the number 1 in common, that means it can't simplify. So this number right here, 11/16, that's our final answer. That's why I want to do this one second, so that you could see one that did not simplify. All right, remember, if you have any questions, you can check out the notes, you can rewatch this video, you can call me, we can jump on Zoom, we can go over it. If you don't want to deal with me, you can also go to a couple other websites to look for videos of their explanations. The one I recommend is Khan Academy. Super great. All right, let's try one more. I won't write on this side of the board anymore since you can't see it. All right, let's do a subtraction one. So we're going to do 5/18 minus 1/9. So again, we're going to change 1/9 because it's our smaller fraction, and we know 9 can multiply into 18. We're going to find our multiplier now by dividing 18 by 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. So therefore, 2 is our multiplier. So we'll take 1/9, multiply both the top and the bottom by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 9 times 2 is 18. So we'll replace 1/9 with 2/18 because that's its equivalent fraction. So if we have 5/18 minus 2/18, what we get here, 5 minus 2 is 3. And remember, when we subtract fractions, those denominators stay the same. So our answer here is 3/18. So now you're going to ask, can I simplify? So here, if we look at our possibles, the only numbers that go into 3 are 1 and 3. So numbers that go into 18, we got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So you can already see They have the number 3 in common. So what we're going to do, this is our answer, but we can simplify it. So if we divide them by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So our final answer is 1 over 6. But again, 3 over 18 would also be acceptable because those two are equivalent. One is just simplified from the other. All right. If you have any questions, please, like I said, let me know. Check out another resource if you don't want to come to me. Check out the notes. I have all the explanations for you, and give the problems to the side a try. And I hope you do really good. And let me know. All right. Bye.